I chose to research the Walmart Corporation for my Capstone project because I'm personally familiar with the business. There's been at least one Walmart store in every city that I've ever lived in, and Walmart's the store that I shop at the most often, so I thought that it would be interesting to learn about the business elements that go on behind the stores that I go to. Strategic leadership is defined as the ability to anticipate and envision and maintain flexibility, and to empower others to create strategic change as necessary. The strategic leaders at Walmart are tasked with competing in global markets, remaining current with changing technology, and navigating the trend away from shopping in brick-and-mortar stores and towards shopping online. Some of the most influential strategic leaders at Walmart are Doug McMillon, the president and CEO of Walmart, John Furner, the president and CEO of Walmart US, and Catherine McClay, the president and CEO of Walmart International. There are other strategic leaders, other CEOs and presidents, but these three are the ones that seem to be the most influential in the company. The company history of Walmart is more than 60 years in the making, so it's a rich history. Walmart was started by Sam Walton in July of 1962 in Rogers, Arkansas, with the first Walmart. Within the first decade of Walmart's business, the company earned more than $12 million, and it incorporated officially within that first decade of business. When it incorporated, it was originally called Walmart Stores, Inc. In the second decade of business, Walmart became a publicly traded company, and it became a national corporation, so it spread outside of Arkansas and into more states throughout the United States. In the third decade of business, Walmart opened its first Sam's Club, which was also named after the founder, Sam Walton, and it opened its first Walmart Supercenter. In the third decade, it also set a record and reached its first $1 billion of sales. In the fourth decade of its business, the 1990s, Walmart globalized. It expanded into China and the UK and Mexico. And in the 1990s, it experienced its first $1 billion sales week and its first $100 billion sales week. The 1990s was also when Sam Walton, the founder, died. In the 2000s, Walmart started its website, walmart.com, and in the 2010s, Walmart transitioned a little more towards e-commerce and changed its name to Walmart Inc. The company has grown significantly since its founding. It started off as that single grocery store in Arkansas, and today it's one of the largest retail brands in the world. And that growth is largely due to globalization and to modernization, such as adopting this trend of moving towards e-commerce. Walmart's market is a global market. It's a brand that's recognized around the world. It has more than 10,000 locations. Those locations are on 5 continents: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. They're in 24 different countries. They're in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the Territory of Puerto Rico. Walmart's mission statement is to save people money so they can live better. This is something that Walmart strives to attain every day. It's something that is tangible, it's reachable, and it's something that they try to accomplish in their everyday activities. On the other hand, their vision statement is broader, it's intangible, it's something that they can't truly accomplish, but it's still something that they're striving towards, and that vision statement is to be the destination for customers to save money, no matter how they want to shop. Walmart competes in the retail industry. This is an increasingly competitive market and industry, and according to the International Trade Administration, the retail industry employs around 30 million people each year and experiences more than $5 trillion of revenue each year. And in this competitive and innovating and very profitable industry, Walmart is one of the most successful companies. Some of the strengths for Walmart are that it's a legend in retail. It's a well-known store, well-known brand, so lots of companies want to work with Walmart and to get their products on its shelves, and lots of customers want to shop at Walmart. Another strength is the scale of operations of Walmart. It has lots of stores and lots of products, and that contributes to its growing sales. On the other hand, some weaknesses of Walmart are the poor healthcare coverage and poor working conditions that workers experience who are employed by Walmart. Walmart's kind of infamous for its poor treatment of its workers, and that's bad for workers' work ethics and also for the public image of the company. The opportunities facing Walmart are increased expansion in foreign markets. There's a lot of untapped potential in the markets that Walmart hasn't reached or that it's started to reach but hasn't really flooded with Walmart stores. Walmart's present in 24 different countries, but most of its locations are still in the U.S. Another opportunity is for Walmart to expand its pickup and delivery services. This is something that other grocery stores, other retail stores are really tapping into, and something that Amazon, one of Walmart's biggest rivals, does really well. So that's an opportunity for Walmart to really grow and to reach its customers better. Some of the threats facing Walmart are political issues. With cancel culture, Walmart faces a lot of liability for that with all of its locations, all of its products, all the companies it works for, all the people who work for them are all potential issues for the company if one of those elements is something that people decide is offensive enough to boycott Walmart. Another threat is the competition with Amazon. As shopping moves towards an online activity, Amazon dominates in the e-commerce world, and Walmart is facing a big threat with that because Walmart dominates in the in-store shopping world, but as the trend leads away from that, Walmart needs to learn to compete with Amazon better. So these are some of the elements that are competitive advantages for Walmart. If an element of the business is valuable, rare, difficult to imitate, and supported by organizational structure, that would make it a competitive advantage. And the brand value, bargaining power, and international supply chain of Walmart, these are all elements that are competitive advantage and that they are crucial for Walmart in maintaining its leading position in the retail industry. So pestle forces, the political force, Walmart is in a lot of different countries with a lot of different political landscapes, and if any of those countries have particularly volatile political states, that can be a bad thing for Walmart. The economic force in an economic boom, Walmart's going to reap the rewards of that and have a lot of people buying extra goods and making extra trips to Walmart. But in an economic recession, Walmart's really going to feel that in its profit margins because people are going to cut back on what they buy and not getting those extra items or buying those more expensive items. Social forces, Walmart's in many different cities, many different countries, and those all have different cultures, and so items and practices that work in one location might not work in another location, and Walmart needs to cater to those specific needs. The technological force, obviously technology has changed a lot since Walmart's founding, and Walmart has to keep up with those changes, those trends, especially as e-commerce grows. That's something that Walmart has to keep up with. And one thing that they've done to keep up with the technological changes in the in-store realm is to introduce self-checkout lanes. And that helps customers to get in and out faster. The environmental force, there's definitely a growing concern for the environment, and so Walmart has committed to reducing its emissions and to being more environmentally sustainable. Legal forces, Walmart has to stay up to date with the laws in all of the different cities and states and countries where it has stores, and it needs to make sure that it's hiring practices, its firing practices, the wages it pays its workers, the products that it sells, that all of those are in line with those laws so that it doesn't face any legal issues. So for Porter's 5 forces, the threat of new entrants to Walmart is very strong because anyone can start their own store, and it's not super expensive, super difficult to do. And that store could be closer to Walmart's customers, or it could fill a niche and have more specialized goods that customers might want, or it could end up being cheaper for customers, and all of those things would draw customers away from spending their money at Walmart. The bargaining power of suppliers, however, is a weak factor. Lots of companies want to have business at Walmart. They want to put their products on Walmart shelves, so one supplier backing out on Walmart isn't a huge deal for them. Also, the bargaining power of buyers is very weak. An individual buyer, their purchases are very, very small to Walmart in the grand scheme of all the sales that it makes and all of its revenue. So one or two buyers isn't going to really impact Walmart. The threat of substitute products is surprisingly weak. That's because a lot of the products sold at Walmart either don't have a substitute or they do have a substitute, but those substitutes, the best substitute is also sold at Walmart, or the best, cheapest substitute is sold at Walmart. And then rivalry among competing firms is a very strong factor for Walmart because the retail industry is so competitive. All of its competitors of Target and Kroger and Publix and Costco, they're always competing for the same customers, and so Walmart doesn't want to lose any of its business to those other companies. The corporate level strategy of Walmart is focused on expansion. Walmart is striving towards growth. It wants to increase its market share, and it wants to start new global locations in markets around the world. The product scope of Walmart is very diverse. It has tens of millions of products on its shelves. The geographic scope is also diverse. They're across most of the world, but the vertical scope is kind of moderate. There's only some vertical scope because Walmart does have its own store brands, the Great Value brand, but it hasn't completely taken control of its supply chain. It doesn't grow its own food or supply its own produce, so it's still working on that vertical scope. The business level strategy, they follow Porter's generic strategy of cost leadership. Walmart is known for providing quality goods at low costs, and that's really what brings in a lot of its customers is that low price point. And the functional level strategy of Walmart, this is the practices that it does to support those higher level, business level, and corporate level strategies. So one of the things is minimizing expenses. That really helps with the cost leadership strategy. One of the ways that Walmart minimizes expenses is by using its influence to get its products cheaper. Another way that it minimizes expenses is by paying its workers as little as possible, and by keeping those workers at a part-time status instead of a full-time status so that they don't have to pay for health care or retirement benefits and those kinds of things. And that practice of minimizing expenses has gotten Walmart in trouble in the past. Walmart also uses the habit of marketing their products and their innovations to support their high-level strategies. So just keeping customers up to date on the products that they sell and the advances that they're making so that Walmart's fresh on their minds and that they can expand into new markets where people are going to know who they are and what they sell. The corporate performance of Walmart is overall good, but it's mixed in each level. They're not all the same level of success. So the functional level, there's some success, but that way that they minimize their expenses has been bad for them in the fact that they have developed a negative public image of the company through mistreating their workers and underpaying them, that kind of thing. The business level and the corporate level performance has had great success. The company is well known for succeeding in cost leadership, and that's why a lot of customers come to them, so they've had really good success there. And the corporate level, they've had success in expanding. They've reached many different markets, many countries, 5 continents, so they're experiencing great success in their attempt to expand. The corporate structure of Walmart falls under the category of a hierarchy. This is pretty normal for a retail business. The power flows from the top down, and so do agendas and initiatives. So the executives, the CEOs, and the presidents will come up with a plan, with an idea, and they will pass it down the line. And then managers, middle managers at those levels will pass it down to their people and make sure that they're implementing it. And then the retail workers, the people in the stores, at the cash registers, stocking the aisles are the ones who do the work of those initiatives. So the material business issues of Walmart, there's corporate governance. In this area, Walmart does pretty well. They had a scandal back in the early 2000s in the way that they governed in Mexico, but they haven't had any scandals since then. They've really worked to increase their transparency and their accountability so that that kind of thing doesn't happen again, and they're succeeding in that realm. Corporate social responsibility. Walmart donates lots of money to many different philanthropic efforts, such as COVID relief and the fight to end hunger and reducing emissions and protecting the environment. And the company and the public seem to view Walmart as a corporate, socially responsible company. On the other hand, of business ethics, Walmart and the public seem to have different views of the company. Walmart thinks that it is an ethical leader, but the public thinks that Walmart is an unethical employer. And a lot of that is due to that low compensation of workers. So my recommendations for Walmart, my first one is for Walmart to promote its own store brands. They have a lot of their own store brands, and those brands are really growing. They're a lot of Walmart's revenue. One of the most famous ones is the Great Value brand. But Walmart doesn't really promote its brands. It doesn't go out and advertise it. It seems to wait for customers to come in wanting those name brand items and seeing that the store brand item is cheaper and then going with the store brand item. But Walmart would have more success with those store brands if they promoted them on their own. That tactic would be in line with Walmart's mission statement to save people money. Those store brand items are usually cheaper. And so promoting them and drawing people's attention to them would save their customers money. They can also promote these products by giving them the best shelf placement. That eye-level, easy-to-reach placement for their own products is going to increase the sale of those store brand items, as opposed to when they put them down on the floor where people have to crouch down, or up high where you have to reach. It's just that prime real estate of shelf is where they should put those products. And this will help them to compete with other companies that also work in the cost leadership area of business, such as Aldi and Lidl. The second recommendation I have is to advance and automate their processes. So in the in-store area, this would be adding more self-checkout lanes. This would mean that Walmart would have to hire less cashiers, and so they wouldn't have to spend as much on employing those cashiers. And also customers could get in and out of the store quicker because there are so many lanes for them to check out at. For the online version of shopping, this would mean more of a push towards that e-commerce, really making their website super user-friendly and promoting it and putting deals on there, and also improving their shipping from that website. So you can go onto Walmart's website and buy a product and get it shipped to the store or to your house, but it tends to take a lot longer than some of those competitors like Amazon. So if Walmart really wants to compete in the e-commerce world, it needs to improve those shipping times. My third recommendation is to improve Walmart's public image. They really need to start a campaign and really devote resources and effort towards improving their public image. They do a lot of good already, a lot of philanthropic efforts, a lot of trying to be diverse in their hiring and their promotions, and they talk about that on their website, but they don't seem to put that out on social media and on commercials or interviews and have testimonials about workers who love their treatment or shoppers who had great experiences there, like other companies do. And so they should devote their time to doing that so that people know the good that they do already. In addition to letting people know about the good that they're already doing, they need to improve in the ways that they're not doing good. And their first step for that should be to talk to their workers and learn how their workers want them to improve. A lot of their public image is tied to the fact that they mistreat their workers, so they need to learn how the workers want to be treated, what the workers want to see change, how they want Walmart to be different, and then address that. And that's going to make workers want to work there. It's going to decrease worker turnover, and it's going to increase worker production. And then that will also improve the public image of the company and make people see that Walmart is improving and want to shop there. And then these are the references and the resources that I used for this presentation.